Joining me again in the studio is Laurence McKenna. Now we're going to start with the news of Usain Bolt pulling out of the Jamaican National Senior Trials. What do you make of it all?
It's a lovely non-story in the news again, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Come on, it's Usain Bolt. He should be showing up all the time.
Well, I mean, he does still show up to important places, doesn't he? But I guess the point here would be that...
Oh, you mean like credit card sponsors this week?
To some extent, okay. Yes. But the point for Usain would probably be that, I mean, he knows what his fitness regime is, and his team probably know exactly the same. If there's something more important than that, then it probably is going to take precedence. It's the same as the Mo Farah story that we covered just last week. I mean, people are trying to make something of it because when these sorts of things come back, they know it's a salacious headline. And Mo Farah and all those other big names in the sport, like Usain and all the other guys that go with it, get clicks online. So
it's not a risky move, him pulling out, bearing in mind that he needs to warm up ahead of the World Championships in Beijing?
It's certainly interesting now, considering the way the field looks, and there are a couple of people who are going to be challenging his time. But you also wonder, how much do you want to keep that under wraps? And, you know, do we know even what times he's going to be covering for his own PBs, those kind of things? So I don't think it's the end of the world if you pull out of a competition, but I certainly think that it makes sense that people question it. However, he also has the right to some privacy within this. So, you know, I don't see...
But he's going to be showing up this weekend in London, I believe?
Possibly, we don't know. We don't know where he is right now. There's, you know, especially when you do have sponsors, then you are contractually obliged to be in certain places. But maybe he is, maybe he isn't. OK, well, sticking with athletics, and of course it's the jewel in the crown when it comes to the Olympics, which is going to be next year. Yeah. Rio Games, they're not really holding on to their promises when it comes to reducing the sewage at the Guanabara Bay. That's the least of their worries,
and then the trouble in the favelas as well. I mean, how are they going to get it under control?
Every country is still a country, even though you have events there, and I think we saw that in the World Cup.
But it's a huge event. It's, you know,
it
world's
is the
eyes
event.
Will be on,
yeah. Well, I mean, but we saw that in 2014 as well with the World Cup in Brazil, and we saw that bureaucracy tends to win in those sorts of things, and the events still go ahead, probably no matter what's going on outside. The sponsors still get what they want, but you do often wonder these big events, how they leave a country and whether they do all the good that maybe people claim that they do. And so I think there's a lot of people who want to question those sorts of things, and we're right, especially in the media, to question that, and should be shining a light on that. It is worrying, of course, not really for people's safety going to the Games, but more for Brazilian people that live in the country.
What's going to be the aftermath of the Games?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, because what was the aftermath of the World Cup? You know, what's happening to the stadiums now? Is football still developing within Brazil in the way that they expected it? Are people getting opportunities? Some people say yes, some people say no, because FIFA can prove with numbers what they wanted to achieve beforehand, but did they actually achieve it afterwards? We don't know that. So, it's interesting to look at. But everyone has their own claim, and FIFA will have one, and the papers will probably have another.
So they will pull it off. Final word.
Always.